goes to the gym. I think sort of jockey.
To be like macho and just hide our emotions.
Physically fit.
They're too concerned on what others think.
Get humor out of making fun of other people.
We were brought up to show up our masculinity and to be more masculine is to be more of a man.
Not supposed to show affection or anything like in that sense. You know what I mean when I say that?
Assertive.
They try to impress women.
Careless. We're careless.
Those guys are douchebags, disrespectful. They are, honestly. Douchebags, disrespectful.
Right? No. Why? Because I just don't need to cry. Why? I don't feel the need to cry.
I think men need to conform more. If you had a group of girls and a group of guys, and the group of girls and group of guys were telling you to do something that you didn't want to do, I think the guy would be more obliged to do. I think it's just like a masculinity thing where you don't want to be proven wrong.
Like if I was a girl, I'd be treated obviously differently. And I'll be treated like more gentle, and like I can just literally express my emotions and do whatever. Sometimes in society, they don't like notice that men like struggle too.
Men don't advocate for themselves the same way that women tend to. If one woman is being maltreated, then all women are being maltreated. The same doesn't hold true for men. If a man is having a hard time, well, that man is having a hard time. Other men are not going to be sticking up for him. So there's a lot more pressure to do something about anything that's disadvantages women. Whereas with men, you don't have that pressure, the same pressure.
Because I think that weakness in men is, or when people show emotionally how they feel, when you're a man, it's sort of shown as weakness. It's like you're supposed to shrug it off and not to care, or just to toughen
We're
up.
primates. We're basically great apes. The way primates tend to work, you have one alpha male who tends to get the lion's share of the females within that species. So he propagates his genes a lot more, as opposed to like the other males within that group. And so we came from that type of species. We are so, but in order to become that alpha male, men would have to sacrifice quite a bit. They'd have to actually, I guess, challenge other men for supremacy. They would have to be able to show that they're worthy in the eyes of the females. So that the whole thing is to show that they are indeed the alpha males. So, and that's how we evolve throughout time. All the males are attempting to take risks in order to move themselves up that hierarchy, that ladder.
The men would go out and hunt. They'd get the food. They were the aggressive ones. They were the ones to go and do all that type of heavy work. And the females would stay with the children. They would raise them, take care of them. Throughout the years, now, women have started to fight to change that. And we have changed it. Women can do whatever they want now. We can be the hunters, we can go out and we can be doctors, we can be lawyers, we can be whatever we want, but men have not really tried to change anything. Men are stuck with their gender roles. If a man wants to try and become a certain profession, he will be judged for being a certain feminine profession. If a man says, I want to be a nurse, he will be judged despite the fact that there's nothing wrong with that. Therefore, less men actually go for that profession because they are afraid of the negative sanctions from their social group.
Over time, men have been considered dominant towards females, and they're supposed to take care of the females and stuff and pay for everything, and so they just overlook their bad qualities.
If a guy's in a situation where he gets raped or he gets beat up by a female or something, he's considered to be a wimp or a pussy or something like that, because men are supposed to be dominant according to our society.
Men, evolutionarily speaking, are competing for resources. So they're and actually the female tends to be a resource, just like status symbols as well, money, goods. These are all resources that they're competing for, and that's why they don't tend to stick together like women do.
Yes, I have.
I have feel discriminated because I'm a man, because let's just say I get into trouble, right, in school. If I get in trouble, I'll be much more severely punished than as if as
That
a female would do the same thing as I did. They just get brushed off, and I'd be in there for a while.
Yes, because like society like just oppresses you and just forces you to like be this person.
Yeah, of course. Like sometimes you're just given the general situation. If you want to fit in, you want to be different. Sometimes you just choose to fit in because that's just the easier option.
Since the beginning of time, people were given gender roles. Back in Homo habilis times, back before the Neanderthal, ever since any people existed, people were given gender roles to help us survive.
I feel like me, that's just how you're supposed to act. Like, that's just what it is. It is what it is.
I don't feel that way because I don't really care what people think, but I know almost every guy does.
These disadvantages can affect me in the future because like each decision I make can like mean a difference between like life or death. If I make a decision not to speak out, it can ruin like my life and like other people around me.
Most people think, or most people are believed to think that to be a big man, you have to be like really masculine or something, and then that just forces you to choose who you really want to be. Like now that women are stepping up for themselves, men need to find their duty other than providing for like a girl.
Because I'm gonna fall into that label and fall into what men are perceived to be. And that would bring me down because then I would lose my potential on what I'm actually supposed to become.
No, the government doesn't really provide that much support for men. There are groups of feminists who are pushing the narrative that women under patriarchy have been oppressed forever and require special exemptions, special help to actually achieve certain positions in society. They're being given a lot of assistance, which in my opinion is actually quite infantilizing to women. It's saying that they can't compete on their own merits. They actually have to have extra help from the government to be able to compete against men.
It is very rare to find an organization to support men because of how dismissed and how overlooked men are. But there are some people out there called men's rights activists who are fighting for the rights of men because we are overlooking the fact that men experience domestic violence, men experience harassment, men experience rape, men experience suicidal thoughts, men experience prostate cancer, men experience all these things, but they are being overlooked. So men's rights activists are out there to try and support men and trying to make sure that while we are bringing up women, while we are trying to make women's rights equal, we are not oppressing men at the same time.
No, I don't know about the government, but I know that there's men's rights activists who are fighting to bring back male rights because over time female rights have sort of surpassed ours because of the growth in the feminist population.
So if we are truly a society that believes in equality for all different people, then why is it that we know so many facts about the issues about all different types of people, except you don't know that 3,000 Canadian men commit suicide every year? 1 in 4 men have experienced rape or will experience rape or some type of domestic violence from a partner. And did you know that the same number of men will die of prostate cancer as women will die of breast cancer, but there is millions and millions of more dollars being put into breast cancer than there is for prostate cancer because we are overlooking and oppressing them?